Hey guys, this is Mike1217 and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. We are in the Deepwood Shrine, the first dungeon in the game. And let me just say really quickly that the dungeons in this game are awesome. This game, I would say, has probably some of the best dungeon designs in the series. So, right away, this is our first room. You can see that there are what appear to be doors, and they're obviously being blocked by spiral webs that we can't get through, so maybe we have to get some kind of fire or something to get rid of those. But we won't have anything yet, so we have to keep going, push this out of the way, and this is our first door we go through. And these enemies, I don't know what they're called, but they're slugs, so you don't really need a fancy name for them, but you're gonna notice that when you're in Minish size, again, keep in mind we're in Minish size right now, that the Minish parts of the game have their own set of enemies, and the slugs being one type of enemy you see in Minish size, and you don't see any of those types of enemies in your normal size, which is something you can probably infer. Here's our first small key. Of course, like all Zelda games, the keys are the key items for the dungeons. And yeah. God. Just as bad. You know, he is probably just about as bad as Navi, because he tells you a lot of obvious things. And yeah, those slugs that you just saw there, they actually fall from the ceiling. Some of them do, and they'll land on their back initially. And yeah, I was gonna say, oh, you can pull that switch. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But yeah, those slugs will fall from the ceiling and land onto their back for a brief time. And when they're on their back like that, you can kill them in one hit. And this right here, you pull this mushroom, and once Link's face turns red like that, it will sling you at maximum distance. You can sling before that, but if you sling too early, you'll sling yourself into the water, which of course you can't swim in right now. So we just have to keep going. So yeah, eventually you will see a lot of those mushrooms throughout this dungeon. And you're gonna have to kind of judge how far you can pull it back and how far you need it to sling you. Here, just hit the switch and light the torch. That will get rid of those vines and loosen up this log in the middle, which will actually go inside right now. Get out of my way. These enemies you can't hurt right now, so not much we can do about them. And now we're inside this log. You can't really move it or anything, but you can see the opening leading to a staircase here. So we'll go through that, get these guys out of the way. Thankfully, you can at least push them out of the way. So we have to light this other torch. This requires us to hit both switches here. So just push this thing here, then step on this one. And now the log is completely loosened. And now that we go inside it, once we go inside of it, we can actually move it by, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna completely ignore Elsa, by the way, throughout pretty much the entire game. But yes, once we walk into this thing, we can actually move it and open up new passageways with the windows, just like that, and that takes us to this area, so let's keep going. And this block you cannot move just yet. Some blocks are movable, some aren't. It's kind of hard. It's really hard to tell which ones are. Those square blocks, I think all of them, if you can move them, you can only move them in one direction. So we'll see that a little bit more later on. Here, you want to go maximum speed to get to this part where there are pots. You can't break the pots with your sword yet, so you have to pick them up and throw them. And some rupees, why not? Oh yeah, every time you pick up a new type of rupee, it would do that. This chest will have the dungeon map in it. Just like other Zelda dungeons, you have the map and the compass. And they are optional, of course. In the 2D games, I find the map to be more useful than in the 3D games. I almost never go for the maps in the 3D games, if they're way out of my way. But in the 2D games, I find them to be a lot more useful. So you can just take a quick look at it. It replaces your overworld map when you're in the dungeons. So this dungeon has 3 floors. And you can see the blue rooms are ones we visited, and the dark rooms are ones we haven't visited yet. And once we get the compass, we'll see more on this thing. So, as I was talking about before, the mushrooms, we want to get to that middle platform, so you have to kind of pull it in a way that you don't go too far, so that was almost too far. And this isn't useful yet. You can push, yeah, you can push from there. But we're going to have to go into this room. And we have more slugs. Yeah, just watch out for those, they just fall all over the place. What the hell? And these flying... Shut up, Ozo! I know what I'm doing! These flying enemies, are, for whatever reason, they're really annoying. I can't explain why right now, but... A lot of times, they show up in places where you're totally defenseless, so... I don't know. But anyway, yeah, you push that pot onto that switch. That switch will not stay down on its own, you have to push something on top of it to make the bridge stay there. And then... here... yeah, I know... once you hit both of these switches, you'll make a chest appear, but there's no way of getting to it. You cannot push any of these blocks out of the way to actually get to the chest, so you actually have to push these back in, and the switches don't stay down, so you have to push them in, get inside. This will take us to a key, and now we can get out of here. Yeah, so a lot of times, this is, you know, standard stuff for Zelda games, that you'll oftentimes be finding yourself going pretty far out of your way for a key, but since they are the, you know, the key to getting through the dungeons, it is worth it, so... I don't know how many... if there are any keys in any of these dungeons that are completely useless. There are some Zelda games that have useless keys in them, but as far as I know, you need every key in this game. I could be wrong, we'll find out. And yeah, just go to the right side here. Can't get into that door yet, but there is a locked door here. That's what that key opens. And takes us to this room. We can sling ourselves to this mushroom. There's also a staircase we can go up. Let's see what's up here. I think this might lead us to the compass. Let's see what's over here. Oh crap. Yeah, I mean, this will kind of bother you that there's tons of paths that you would want to go through. I'm gonna go back and... oh, actually, I can't get back up there. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm stuck here. Let's go down first. That chest is definitely gonna have the compass in it. So we're gonna have to push a block onto that switch. That will open that chest. I believe that's gonna have a key on it. And can we push these? I think we can. Yeah, we can push these out of the way. This gives us the compass. And the compass will show us more icons on the map. Now you can see chests on the map. And that's pretty much all you see with the compass, are where treasure chests are. Some chests have important things in them, some don't. That's another standard thing in Zelda games. But, you know, if you're playing through for the first time, it's important to go for all of them. And we cannot get across this in any way, so we're going to have to leave this room. And we're going to have to go left. That's the only option we have right now. And you can see this ground right here, I move a little slower, so that can get kind of annoying. We'll have to figure out a way to get rid of that later. Hitting this switch opens that door, okay. Let's go down here. Again, I'm not like 100%... okay, so that opens this door that leads back to the middle, so... easy way to get back to the main room. Alright, so we have a locked door, don't have a key for it, let's go through here. And we have a spiral web that's blocking away to a big caterpillar-looking thing, so we have to get to him. So we need to find a key, and I think it's hidden in a pot. That's the only thing I can think of right now. Yeah, you can't throw pots at these guys either, and you can see that they make this dirt stuff come back once they stomp the ground. Pretty sure one of these should have the key in it, right? Nope. Yeah, these guys are annoying. Ugh, okay, so... look down here... oh shit, yeah, this is the only option we have right now. Okay, we're back in this room, and I'm gonna try to go across here, see if there's anything useful here. I believe I should have done this in the first place. Just go across. I went too far, damn it. Go, let's do that a little bit softer this time. About there, just before Link's red, or I keep saying Link's red turns face, or something like that. Okay, this switch, does it stay? Yes, it does, so that's an easy way to get across. Actually, you need to do that because you have to pull this to get over here. And I'm pretty sure you have to go maximum for this, right? Yeah. And there's a door over here. I'm not worried about this pot, so let's just keep going. And we have a switch that we need to hit, looks like. Let's get rid of these guys, too. I'm sure that switch will open a door up there, so... all we really need to do is just pull this, I believe, right? Is that switch doesn't stay on its own. Actually, here, let's do this. Let's pull this one further out. And then we'll push this one onto the switch. That way we can actually get to the door. So that, yeah, that first statue just gotta get out of the way. And let's see what is up here. Okay, this is one of those classic Zelda rooms that you have to defeat all the enemies in order to move on, so let's get rid of all of them. You don't see a whole lot of these rooms in this game. Key comes down after you defeat all them. So not only do you open the door, but you also get a key. 2 for 1. Yeah, you see these types of rooms a lot more in the original Zelda and A Link to the Past. This game, you see it, you know, every now and then. But we do have a key now that will lead us to that room where we saw that Wiggler earlier, so let's get over to him. And yeah, we want to go this way. Yeah, I can roll here, so make this a little bit quicker. Yeah, I called the boss guy a Wiggler because he's pretty much based off of the Wigglers from the Mario series. You'll see why. This is our first mini-boss in the game. And what you have to do is slash his nose. That will make his caterpillar butt appear, and you slash it to death. And once you do that, he'll turn red. You can't touch him when he's in this mode. And this is why I have a feeling that this boss is based off the Wiggler enemies from the Mario series. Because, you know, whenever you hit them, they turn red and get all mad. You can't touch them when you're in that mode. That's something the Zelda series has a lot of, are enemies inspired by the enemies in the Mario series, especially in Link's Awakening. In fact, they're ripped straight out of the Mario series in that game. Anyway, once you defeat him, that will make a big chest appear, and that will give us the main item of the dungeon, the Gust Jar. And the cool thing about this game is that the main dungeon items are pretty unique. They're not always your standard boomerang, bow and arrow, and bombs and all that stuff. I mean, I know that's those are kind of spoilers, but not really. You get your standard Zelda items like the bow and boomerang and stuff in other places in the overworld, but you get some rather unique items in the main dungeons. So this, as you can see, this is how you get rid of the spider webs, and it just sucks. It sucks, but it's really awesome, if that makes sense.